My family wouldn't host my birthday due to being broke, but I caught them shopping for high-end goods using my bank account, so I exposed them and abandoned them. Be me, 28-year-old Marcus, currently living in Milwaukee, work as warehouse supervisor at medical supply company. Decent job, decent pay, nothing flashy. Always been the quiet one in the family. Not distant, just not dramatic. Like my peace, keep to myself. Help out where I can. Parents live in Madison, about 45 minutes away. Live with my younger brother Tyler, 23 male, and sister Chloe, 20 female. Tyler works part-time at car rental spot. Chloe's still in school and, shocker, also lives at home. Parents aren't retired, but dad's hours got cut last year. Mom's been dealing with health stuff. Keeps her from working. Around late last year, things got pretty rough financially for them. Instead of watching them drown, I stepped in. Started sending $350 a month into what Mom called emergency fund. She said it helped cover utilities, groceries, general stuff that kept getting behind. Month after that started, she told me mortgage payment was 2 months behind. That one hurt, so I covered that too. Every month that's $350 plus the mortgage, $1,250 altogether. Just made it automatic, so I wouldn't have to think about it. No questions, no guilt tripping, just handled. Never bragged about it, never brought it up. They never thanked me either, but I wasn't doing it for brownie points. Just didn't want them losing their home. Figured, hey, I can afford it for now, so why not? Then 2 weeks before Halloween, I get a group text from Mom. Just me, Tyler, and Chloe. She writes, "Hey guys, just wanted to let you know. We're not doing Halloween dinner this year. Things are a little tight, and we can't afford the big meal this time. Hope that's okay." No call, no real explanation. Just a cut and dry cancellation. Sat there rereading it a couple times. Didn't respond right away. Hit weird. Not even a maybe next time, or we'll figure something out. Just flat, we're not doing it. Tried not to overthink it. Maybe they really couldn't do it this year. Money's been tight. Chloe's tuition bills. Dad's hours, medical stuff. Made sense, right? So I texted back later that night. "Okay, understood. Let me know if anything changes." Wasn't mad, just disappointed, I guess. Live alone, don't have big friend circle. Halloween dinner always been one of those days, where I didn't feel like such an outsider. Figured maybe next year, or maybe I'd plan something small in November. No big deal. Halloween night, I threw frozen pizza in the oven. Watched some horror movies, scrolled through phone. Quiet night, didn't hear from anyone. No happy Halloween text. Not from Mom, not from Tyler, not from Chloe. Was weird, but tried not to let it get to me. Then the next morning, I got notification from bank. Transaction approved, Romano's Steakhouse, $762.38, from Joint Emergency Fund. What the hell? Sat up so fast I almost knocked over my coffee. Romano's is one of the most expensive restaurants in the city, where people go for anniversaries, proposals, big milestones. Knew they weren't dropping $760 plus on casual night out. Pulled up Instagram. Tyler had posted a photo just like I expected. My entire family dressed up sitting at massive wooden table at Romano's. Plates stacked with prime rib and lobster. Big cheesy grins like they were in Damn magazine. Mom's hair was done. Chloe had brand new outfit on. Dad looked like he was having time of his life. Even my cousin Maya was there. Apparently she got an invite too. Right behind them, chalkboard on little easel. Read "Grateful for Family, 2024. I wasn't in the photo, wasn't tagged, wasn't a mention of me anywhere. And they used my money to pay for that dinner. Stared at screen like it was in another language. Felt my heartbeat in my neck. Wasn't even angry at first. More like this creeping disbelief. Just sat there thinking, no way they really did that. But charge on bank account confirmed it. They told me Halloween dinner was canceled because couldn't afford it. Then took money I sent to help keep lights on. Blew it on steakhouse meal. I wasn't even invited to. Something inside me snapped. Called my mom. She answered on second ring all chipper. Like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just cut me out of family dinner. Spent money I'd been sending them behind my back. "Hey honey," she said. Like she was genuinely happy to hear from me. Didn't even try to match her tone. "You told me we couldn't afford Halloween dinner." There was tiniest pause, just half breath. Could hear wheels turning. "Then you used emergency fund to drop $760 at Romano's without inviting me." She didn't sound sorry at all when finally responded. "We just needed one nice night, you wouldn't understand." Blinked staring at phone like it had grown horns. "Excuse me?" "You're single, Marcus. You don't have same kind of stress we do. You don't understand how exhausting it is having everyone rely on you. Actually laughed loud and bitter. I don't understand being relied on. You know what I mean, she snapped quickly, trying to recover. We needed to do something normal, something nice just once. And the normal thing was to exclude me? She sighed like I was being difficult. We didn't exclude you, we just kept it simple. It wasn't big deal. I said there was chalkboard that said grateful for family. Was I just not part of that definition anymore? Marcus, don't do this, she said, tone shifting hard into irritation. It was one night, you're acting like we committed crime. You lied to me, I said. You looked me in face and said Halloween dinner was canceled. I sat at home eating microwave pizza, while you were cutting into $60 steaks. Well, we didn't think you'd want to come anyway, she said, voice hardening. You've been distant. You're always so tense around holidays. Because holidays are when you usually ask me for money, I shot back. Because you treat me like background character. While expecting me to play Santa? That's not fair, she said. We've always included you. Couldn't believe what I was hearing. Included me? You didn't even send Happy Halloween text. Not a call, not a meme, not, hey, we're thinking of you. Nothing. She scoffed. I didn't realize I had to report my every move to you. You don't, I said. But maybe don't lie to me about canceling family holiday. While secretly throwing 5-star dinner with money I gave you for emergency fund. There was beat of silence. Then she hit me with, it wasn't meant to hurt you. You're twisting this into something it's not. Oh, so this is my fault now? I never said that. You didn't have to, I said. You just told me I wouldn't understand needing night out. Like I'm some emotionless robot who can't possibly relate. You chose to be alone, she said sharply. We made best decision for everyone's mood. There it was. I wasn't even worth seat at table, I asked. She didn't hesitate. It wasn't about you, Marcus. We just wanted night that didn't feel heavy. Heavy? I repeated, my voice getting sharper. So I'm what, emotional baggage now? She said flat like it was fact. You take things personally. You always want to talk about how we handle money. Or who paid for what. Because I did pay for what, I snapped. Marcus, no. Say it, I said, my voice cracking now. Not from sadness, from absolute disbelief. You wanted family dinner, just not with part of family? Who actually made it possible? You're overreacting, she said. It was just dinner. Right, I said flat. Just dinner, the one you canceled in my face. Then had without me, got it? Maybe if you weren't so sensitive all the time. Hung up. Didn't wait for her to finish. Didn't need another word. Because at that point I realized it wasn't just the dinner. It was the fact that she meant it. I wasn't convenient that night, so I wasn't included. Logged into bank, canceled auto payment for both fund and mortgage, changed all passwords and locked account. That was it. Didn't explain, didn't send angry text, didn't post anything, just stopped. That night sat in apartment, thought about every dollar I sent them. Every time I told myself it wasn't a big deal. Every time I ignored how one-sided it felt. Then thought about that chalkboard. Grateful for family. Yeah, okay. Didn't block anyone, not yet. Wanted to see what would happen next. Maybe someone would call back. Maybe someone would realize they'd screwed up. Try to fix it. No one did. Next few days were just radio silence. Checked my phone every so often. Not because I wanted to talk to them, but because I half expected some kind of explanation. But nothing came. Not a text from my mom. Not even half-hearted emoji from Tyler. Was like I didn't exist. Like my outburst was just passing cloud. They could wait out. Then about 5 days later, I got letter in mail. Was from mortgage company. Figured it was just monthly statement, something routine. But no, it was late notice. They hadn't paid December bill. My auto payment had stopped and now they were behind. Read it twice, then third time. Felt like slap in face. They'd gone and used my emergency fund to dine at steakhouse. Didn't even invite me. And now mortgage, the one I had been covering like clockwork, was suddenly my problem again. They hadn't even reached out to ask about it. Just let payment bounce and hoped I wouldn't notice. Or worse, they assumed I'd feel bad enough to turn it back on myself. Didn't respond to letter. Just stared at it for good 10 minutes. Thinking they really thought I was that stupid, huh? Then came message from Maya, my cousin. You who'd been at dinner? She texted me out of nowhere. Hey, just checking in. Can I call you? Figured she felt awkward after that dinner pic blew up. Replied, yeah, sure. She called me a minute later. First thing out of her mouth was, I didn't know you weren't invited. Didn't say anything, Just let her talk. She said, I asked your mom where you were, and she said you were spending Halloween with coworkers. She made it sound like you were too busy or had other plans. Could feel my jaw tightening. But then she added, and this part stuck like glue. She also said you just bring mood down, that you always ask too many questions. And she wanted one stress-free night. That part hit harder than price tag at Romano's. So now I was the problem. Reason, they had to leave me out. Because I'd ask questions like, hey, why are you blowing money? From emergency fund on lobster tails? That kind of question. Told Maya thanks for letting me know, and that I didn't blame her. Meant it. She seemed genuinely bothered. Could tell she hadn't known full story. But after we hung up, I sat there in living room, just staring at wall for long time. Started remembering all the times things felt off. All the vague answers when I'd asked how things were going. All times Chloe brushed me off with, don't worry, mom's got it. Way Tyler once said, half joking. You're basically our landlord at this point. Used to laugh along, but didn't feel funny now. Felt calculated. That same night I got first text was Chloe. Hey Marcus, I think something's wrong with mortgage thing. Can you check? No greeting, no how are you, just straight up request, like I was customer support. Didn't answer, left it sitting there. Next morning I got another one. This time from my mom, but came from different number, which means she probably realized I'd seen her name and ignored it. Can we talk? Still no apology, still no ownership. Just vague passive message, like none of last week had happened. Stared at that one too, let it sit unread. Then Tyler texted me. You're seriously going to do this over dinner? Not sorry we excluded you. Not I didn't know, mom used your money. Just that like I was throwing tantrum because they forgot to bring me doggy bag. That one pushed me over edge. Texted back, it's not about dinner. It's about being lied to, stolen from, and talked about like I'm some outsider. You used my money and left me out. Then you acted like I was one being dramatic. No response. 3 days passed, nothing. Then notifications started coming in. Not from them, but from bank. Got low balance warning on shared account. Another alert from mortgage company, saying payment was still pending. That's when I realized they really thought this would fix itself. They figured I'd eventually crack and go back to normal. That I'd keep paying like I always had. Just to avoid conflict, like I'd always done. But I wasn't going back. That week I started collecting receipts. Not just mentally, literally. Every transfer, every transaction, every month I paid for groceries, internet, gas, and mortgage. Printed them all out and started putting together folder. Didn't even know why yet. Maybe it was for me. Maybe just to remind myself I wasn't being unreasonable. Or maybe because I was already planning something. They wouldn't see coming. By time second mortgage notice hit, already knew how this was going to go. They weren't going to apologize. They weren't going to admit anything. They were going to wait until things got uncomfortable enough. For them, not for me. Then swoop in like nothing happened, expecting me to fix it. Right on schedule, guilt parade rolled in. Started with small stuff. My mom texted me, picture of our old dog. He died few years ago with message like, found this in drawer, miss those days. Real subtle, like this was all about nostalgia. Then Chloe messaged me something totally unrelated. Do you still have that USB cable I let you borrow? I hadn't borrowed anything. Was like she just wanted to start conversation without having to say words we messed up. Tyler predictably went sarcasm route. Texted me link to some dumb meme. That said, when your family forgets to invite you to dinner, but you're still paying the bill. No caption, just that. Like it was all just joke to him. Like he hadn't been sitting across from my mom while she drained account I'd been filling. Still, I said nothing. Didn't reply. Didn't even leave them on read. Just watched and waited. And then messages shifted. They went from weird and passive to desperate and sloppy. Mom, hey, I know we haven't talked, but gas bill is due. And it's higher than usual. Can you help just for this month? Yes, Chloe, I have finals coming up and can't focus with all this tension. Can we please talk? Tyler, bro mom's crying, just call her. That one almost got me. Not because of crying part, but because it was first time in weeks. Anyone acknowledged something was actually wrong. Still, I didn't move. Wasn't going to fix this, not this time. Then I got phone call. I didn't expect. My Uncle Frank, he's not someone I talk to often. He's my mom's older brother, lives 2 towns over. Usually stays out of family drama, unless it's directly costing him something, which apparently it now was. Hey Marcus, he said when I picked up. Your mom's been telling people you're going through something. Said you're pulling away, maybe overwhelmed. Didn't even blink. She said that? He sighed. Yeah, she told my wife it's been a rough year for you, and you needed space. She made it sound like you ghosted them without warning. Didn't hold back. Laid it out in plain language about monthly payments, the mortgage, the steakhouse, the lie about Halloween dinner, the silence and sudden shift to guilt. When I pulled the plug, Frank was quiet for a second. Then he said, Jesus, I had no idea. Yeah, I said, that makes two of us. He apologized, didn't try to defend her, said he wasn't going to get involved, but that he didn't want me thinking whole family was in on it. Respected that, honestly. Meant more than anything I'd heard from immediate family in years, but it also confirmed something for me. My mom was spinning version of events where I was the problem, the emotionally distant son, the one who stopped helping for no reason. The one who needed space wasn't just about guilt anymore, was about rewriting whole story. Later that night, I opened up my email. Saw a message from electric company. Payment was past due. Not surprising, I had been paying that too, remember. But now that tap was off, everything was unraveling. Could practically hear excuses forming in real time. Then call came in around 10:17 p.m. Mom lit up on screen. For a second, I just stared at it. Every instinct told me to let it go to voicemail. But something in me made me accept. Her voice came in soft, like she'd been practicing it. Hey, darling. Didn't say anything right away. Then she dove straight in. We're really struggling right now. Electric might get shut off this week. I didn't want to ask, but just until we're stable again. One more month. There was no apology, no accountability. Just that same tired request. Wrapped in, I hate to do this, packaging. She's used dozen times before. Then Chloe's voice cut in from background. She wasn't even trying to be subtle. Tell him this is all really dramatic. He's acting like we stole from him. Let out dry laugh and brought phone back to ear. Tell Chloe I'm still here. And yes, I do think you stole from me. Then I hung up, and they had no idea what was coming next. Decided to host dinner on my own, not some big dramatic event. Just small dinner with people I actually liked. People who'd shown up for me in ways my own family hadn't. Kept invite list short. Maya, my friend Derek from work, who'd quietly helped me cover rough rent year back. When I was starting out, my upstairs neighbor Rita, who always brought me leftovers, even when I told her she didn't have to. And Brandon, my old friend from college, who once drove 4 hours when my car broke down. And I didn't even ask him to. Sent out invite like week in advance. Just simple group text. Thinking about cooking big dinner next Saturday. Just something chill, y'all in? They all said yes within the hour. No one asked what occasion was. No one assumed it was favor. They just wanted to show up. Day of dinner, I woke up early for once. Went all in. Grocery run, table set up, even some Spotify playlist nonsense I'd never cared about before. People started arriving around 6. Maya was last to come in. She brought drinks in this soft, awkward energy, like she was still afraid it was going to feel weird. Honestly didn't think about my parents once during that meal. Wasn't about proving anything to anyone. Was about being with people who didn't need me to perform. And at one point Maya leaned over and said, "You seem lighter." And I didn't even hesitate. I said, "I am." We didn't talk about drama, not really. Think they all knew what had gone down. But no one made it about that. No one brought it up to poke at wound. They respected that it was behind me, and they let it stay there. Then next morning out of nowhere, I get notification from family group chat. Same one I hadn't seen light up in months. Had gone quiet since Halloween until now. Mom saw Maya's story. Glad to see you can still host dinners. That was it. No greeting, no question. Just passive-aggressive jab wrapped in fake smile. Didn't respond. 5 minutes later, Chloe. You had whole dinner and didn't invite us. Another from Tyler. Guess we know where we stand. Then Mom again. It's okay, you've moved on. We just hope those people are still around when you need help one day. That one made me laugh out loud. Help? You mean like covering your rent for 10 months? Like paying your mortgage and pretending not to notice? When you use money for steak dinners? Like fixing Tyler's car while he posted memes about broke friends? And not once mentioned who bailed him out? They were offended because they saw pictures. Because Maya posted story of us laughing around table, and I wasn't alone anymore. Because house was warm, food looked good, and I wasn't miserable without them. Put my phone down and didn't answer. Few hours later, I got text from my dad. Not in group chat, just direct, "You really didn't think to let us know?" Replied with 2 words, "You didn't." No reply after that. And that's when it really sank in. They weren't upset because they cared about being there. They were upset because they weren't in control. They were used to having me on standby. They expected seat at table by default. And now that they saw I could be happy, full, laughing, surrounded without them, they realized they couldn't guilt me back in. They weren't mourning the relationship. They were mourning the access, and they were mourning fact that someone else got taste of loyalty they took for granted. That dinner wasn't revenge. Was proof that life could be peaceful, that not all relationships are transactional, that family can be chosen, and that some dinners mean more than 1,000 apologies you'll never get. Next morning, my phone lit up with 3 missed calls, all from my mom, 1 voicemail. Didn't listen to it right away. Just watched the screen, then silenced it again. Couple hours later, Tyler texted, "Power's still off. Are you seriously not going to help?" Didn't say please, didn't say sorry, just straight to point. Like I was utility company. He forgot to pay. Few minutes after that, Chloe joined in. "This is petty. You're punishing everyone. Because you didn't get your way?" Didn't answer either of them. Not because I was trying to be cold, but because I finally realized that every reply I gave just opened another door, another chance for them to spin things, guilt me, drag me back into conversation. That only ended one way, with me paying and them forgetting. Later that day, I got email that made my stomach drop little. Was from mortgage company. Apparently, they were now officially 60 days overdue. In bold red text at top, it said, "Final notice." And just below it, there it was. My name still attached, still on cosign. I'd completely forgotten that detail, back when things first started going downhill. I let my mom talk me into cosigning so she could refinance house. Remember her saying, "It's just to help us qualify. You won't even have to do anything." At the time, I was too busy working long hours. And being naive to see problem with that, called mortgage company immediately. Rep told me I wasn't financially responsible for missed payments yet, since I hadn't been one making last few. But if it went to collections, my name being on it could come back to bite me. Asked what I needed to do to remove myself. She said it required written consent from primary borrower. My mom, of course it did. She had me right where she wanted. If everything fell apart, guess who they try to pull down with them? That night I didn't rage. Didn't start flipping out or crafting some angry response. Did what I always do when I need to cool down. It went for a walk. As I walked through my neighborhood, breathing in cold air that stung my nose, I thought about how much time I'd wasted, trying to be what they needed. How every time I stepped up, it wasn't viewed as generosity. Was viewed as expected, like I was just fulfilling my role. By the time I got home, I had new mindset. Wasn't going to yell. Wasn't going to beg to be removed from something I never should have been on, was going to let ships sink, and I was going to step back, let water hit them instead of me. Next day at work, I just finished up meeting, when I noticed someone leaning against car outside our building. At first didn't recognize him, then he waved, "Tyler," walked right past him, heading to my car. He followed. "Before you freak out," he said, like he was one who needed to be protected. "I'm not here to fight, I just came to talk." Didn't say anything, just stared. He took that as permission. Things at home are bad, man. Mom and Dad are freaking out. There's no money, Chloe's still in school, and can't focus with all drama. You made your point okay. Just don't let it get worse. Couldn't believe it. No ownership, no acknowledgement. Just this sad little attempt to make me feel like I was the villain. "You know," I said, "if I hadn't stopped paying, would anyone have apologized? Would anyone have invited me over? Or would you all still be having dinners without me? While I paid for damn lights?" He looked away. I continued, "You didn't come here to apologize. You came here to reset access. I was useful, now I'm not. That's why you're all scrambling." He didn't argue, just stood there, like he hadn't expected me to see through it. "Tell Mom and Dad," I said, "that if they want to fix anything, they can start by removing my name from their mess." Then I got in my car and left. Later that night when I got home, there was letter in my mailbox. Actual paper and stamped envelope. My mom's handwriting on front. Inside were 3 pages all written by hand. Started with stuff like, "We all make mistakes," and "Family is more than money." Then came guilt paragraph, where she mentioned all things they did for me growing up. The food, the clothes, roof over my head. And at very end she wrote, "I hope one day we can laugh about this. I hope one day when dust settles, you'll remember who was there for you when you had nothing." Folded letter neatly. Slid it back into envelope. Dropped it in trash. because I did remember who was there for me, and it definitely wasn't them. That's when I finally did what I should have done weeks earlier. Pulled out receipts, literal ones, digital too. Opened folder I'd been building, started adding things line by line. No fluff, no estimates, just hard numbers. $350 per month for emergency fund, $250 per month for mortgage, $75 for groceries when they ran out of cash, $60 here and there for birthday dinners and surprise DoorDash, $180 for Chloe's urgent textbooks last spring, and $500 to fix Tyler's car when he didn't have dime to his name and swore he'd Venmo me next week. He never did. Line by line, I added everything. Every payment, every gift, every purchase I'd tracked. I totaled it all up. $15,680 just gone. No thank you notes, no interest, no receipts. Just big hole in my bank account labeled family. Sat with that number on screen for a long time, just looking at it. Sheer size of it hit different when it was right in front of me like that. You don't realize how fast small, helpful payments add up until you stack them together. Thought about what I could have done with that money. Car upgrade, vacation, I'd always put off down payment on my own house. Hell, just peace of mind. Instead, I paid for their cable and car repairs, and their overpriced Halloween feast. And they still thought I was one holding things up. Printed spreadsheet out, put it in folder, labeled it in Sharpie. This is what I gave you while you gave me nothing. Never again. Then addressed it to house and dropped it in mailbox. Around 9:30 p.m., just as I was about to shut things down for night. My doorbell rang. Nobody ever shows up at my place. Not without texting first, not unannounced. Looked through peephole. There they were, my parents. My mom had her coat zipped all way up, clutching some Tupperware like it was peace treaty. My dad stood step behind her, hands in his pockets, face blank, like he'd rather be anywhere else. Neither Chloe nor Tyler were with them this time. Didn't open door right away. Just stood there watching. My mom tried to smile at peephole. Same awkward smile she gave when she was about to ask for something, but wanted it to sound casual. Let them stand there for almost full minute. Wasn't being petty. Just wanted to see how long they'd wait. When I wasn't immediately useful, then I opened door. Didn't say anything. My mom stepped forward like we were in middle of conversation we never had. We just wanted to stop by. Thought maybe you'd be hungry. I brought pasta. Of course she did. She always used food like it could undo whatever came before it. You read it? I asked. Her smile cracked a little. We did Marcus? It was a lot. Yeah, I said. That's what happens when you total up year of being used. My dad let out slow breath like he was trying to keep peace. It's not like that. We never meant to take advantage. But you did, I said repeatedly. He didn't argue. We didn't know it added up to that much. My mom said quieter now. It just kept happening. I nodded, and not once did any of you stop and ask if I was okay. Not once did you say thank you. You just kept letting me fix things while keeping me at arm's length. We made mistake, she said. We got too comfortable. No, I replied. You got entitled. My dad stepped in again, finally showing some backbone. Marcus, we came here because we want to make things right. No, you came here because I sent you number you couldn't ignore, I said. You came here because guilt finally outweighed convenience. Mom looked like she was trying not to cry. I don't want us to hate each other. I don't hate you, I said. I just don't trust you. Silence that followed was thicker than anything I've ever felt. Nobody moved. Nobody looked me in eye. Then I asked, is power still out? Neither of them answered. That was answer enough. You didn't show up when I was sitting alone on Halloween, I said. But now that lights are off and your safety net pulled plug, you're here with Tupperware full of guilt carbs. My dad muttered, that's not fair. I looked straight at him. No, what's not fair is spending 15 grand on family. That couldn't even send me text on one holiday I looked forward to all year. What's not fair is watching you hand out gifts and laugh over steak. While I'm footing bill and getting painted as moody one, they stood there like statues. Think for first time, they were actually hearing it. Not brushing it off, not spinning it. Just standing there in fallout they created. I let silence sit little longer. Then I said, I meant every line in that folder. Especially the label. My mom blinked fast like she was trying to hold it together. You really mean that? I do, I said. You only came here to fix relationship because money dried up. Not because you missed me. Not because you felt bad. Because bills came due. Nobody moved. Nobody apologized. And that was moment I knew nothing had actually changed. Except me. So I stepped back inside, I hope you figure things out, I said. Then I closed door, didn't slam it, didn't lock it dramatically. Just shut it. And this time, I didn't wait behind it. I walked into my kitchen, warmed up leftovers I'd already planned to eat, and sat down alone with my plate. And peace, because sometimes closure doesn't come from deep conversation or big speech. Sometimes it's just firm door. End number they can never unsee,